Hello, everybody, wherever you may be. My name's Larry. My call sign's Kilo 7 Hotel November. Welcome back to my shack here in Northwest Oregon. This is Ham Radio Live, show number 118. I'd like to ask you, please hit the subscribe button. Subscribe button is going to help us be found here on YouTube for people who have an interest in radio. Could be ham radio, shortwave, DXing, anything radio. We talk radio here. We do it live every day, and we love to have your comments as part of the show. But having subscribers is important because then people who have an interest in radio can find the channel, hopefully learn a little bit about radio. Today should be a great show. I hope you'll enjoy this. There is no ads here. There's no monetization. You won't have to wait till that skip ad button comes in and you go, wait a minute, I want to watch something else. By the way, thanks for the thumbs up. It's designed to be heard. This channel is designed to be listened from beginning to end. Welcome back, Martin from the Netherlands. So good to see you as always, my friend. I want to show you a little bit of adjustments today on working a radio. Now, before we move the 7300 out of its spot and we move it, the K3 into it, I wanted to go into more of a little bit of the finite adjustments in using this. Now, it's going to take a little bit of delicate balancing for me because of the lighting. The area where this radio sits is literally into a channel, into a spot that's in my desk. It's for a larger radio. And the channel is designed to be used with the display. That's how it works. Now, that's coming with the K4. Doing it this way is actually a camera onto the screen of the radio. A little bit more difficult to do for me. My apologies for it not looking brilliant. I want it to, but it will be a bit blurry at times. So please indulge me just a little bit. I hope this helps you. It's going to be about setting your RF gain and using your attenuator to bring in signals, okay? The 7300, like its brethren, the 7610, the 9700, even the 756 Pro 2 and 3 all work kind of the same. Hi, Scott from Colorado. Nice to see you. Welcome back, buddy. My little New Year's pal. See, Scott and I, we worked the New Year into the Central and Eastern time zones, didn't we, Scott? It's good to see you, buddy. Wow. Just amazing. This is a milestone show for me. This is, personal reasons, but it's a milestone show. It's a pleasure to spend this time with you before I have something pretty nasty happen later today. Let's get into the rig real quick. All right. First of all, take a look at, there's a lot here. Okay. You see, I've got the intensity set up onto the top. Okay. That's due to the reference. Okay. Now watch what happens if you use RF gain. That's this knob here, volume here, RF gain on the outside. Now watch the waterfall and the S meter. S meter, sorry, camera right there. It's tough to move around. S meter is here. Okay. Waterfall intensity in green. Okay. So we'll turn the volume up. Listen to the RF gain first. I have an attenuator. Let's take the attenuator off. See, there's no S meter reading. Now, if you take a look, if you look right here, you're going to know on a 7300, a 7610, a 9700, if a 9700 squelch, but on a 7610 or a 7300, you're going to know if the RF gain is even working or not by saying RFG right here. Currently, this knob is too high, so the RF gain can't work. Turn it down. Now you see the light come on, RFG, right here under USB. If I turn the knob too much, again, sorry for bumping the camera, it's literally a foot in front of me. I have to go around the camera to this knob, so I apologize for bumping it. If I move this up a little bit, the RFG is going to disappear under USB. Let me turn this light out. It's a little RFG right there, okay? So there's the S meter. RFG comes up. No more RF gain. The radio is no longer giving you the RF gain function, which you need to help bring signals in, okay? So we're going to turn the RF gain down. Now the RF gain light shows. You're going to see also, if you take a look as I turn it down, there's no S meter, right? There's nothing. And there's a reason for that. It's not that the signal's not there. Listen. See, the signal's still there. In fact, if we move over to the stronger one, it's a better example. Okay, so signal there.
Not a single shot shotgun, over.
Bringing the RF gain brings it up. So the level comes up. Now we're hearing only one side of the conversation. Attenuation helps because it brings out the noise. Here's 10 dB.
I'm clear on this end. It's probably somebody that doesn't want us to talk and wants to block your receiver.
Bring down the RF gain. You don't hear as much signal. Hear that? Just changing the S meter, sorry. So we're going to bring the RF gain up until that RF gain light stays on. We want the RF gain up.
And that is uncourteous as uncourteous could get.
See here?
You know, courtesy is contagious.
Listen and watch what that meter does as we attenuate it.
So they got 4,000 other frequencies they can spin the VFO dial to without trying to disrupt an ongoing QSO. But, you know, that's the way it
RF gain down. RF gain up.
To their own understanding and thinking their way is right. And there's no
attenuation off. Up 10.
We say let the good times roll because
up 20.
What words say is so good speed because you
now if we turn the RF gain completely out, listen what happens. Okay. There are some videos out there I've noticed on YouTube. And this is a really important point. It's why I say there's lots of different ways to fry an egg or make an egg, okay? There are some videos that say, take your RF gain on a 7300 and get it to tickle the S meter. I don't really care about the S meter. I'll be honest, I don't. It doesn't matter to me. I care about what I hear. When I'm listening to what I'm hearing and I hear it well, I know the radio's performing for me. The S meter doesn't mean a thing to me. It's a tool to give somebody else what their signal report is. And most people say 5.9 when it's not 5.9 anyway. Now, if somebody wants a real signal report, give them one based on what you believe. And that's, again, signal report. And we got a great email on this last week, and it's a good time to bring it up. I forget where the email came from. I love your emails, by the way. Thank you for them. They mean a lot, and I love to try and respond. I get to them as soon as I can. The question was, can you do a show that talks about signal reports? Here is that segment. Signal reports are done two ways. One is through electronic means, one's through head means, your ears, okay? 5, best hearable, totally legible, no problem, can hear you perfectly, good copy. 4, hearing you really well, can make most of it out, no problem, but it could be better. 3, having trouble hearing you, but I can still make things out. 2, it's really hard to hear you. I can barely make you out. 1, I can hear some of what you're saying, but it's really hard to make the copy. That's the best description I can give you from 5 to 1. There's really no 0. If there's a 0, you have no copy. You just have no copy, okay? On the signal report on the other side, the number goes 5 and then 9. That's your meter reading, your S meter reading. Okay, now here, we don't have any S meter, right? There's 0. There's 0, okay? And really it comes down to how loud it is here, okay? S meters determine how high you hear the volume of the signal. The first number is how legible it is, okay? 5, very legible. 9, very strong. 5.9 plus 10, you're really screaming in here. 5.9 plus 20, you're breaking my windows out of here. It's the best way to describe it, okay? And everyone has their own way to do it. You'll find most people will give you just a courtesy 5.9. Thanks for the call. Next call. That's what they do. Now on the 7300, to make it work in a way that you're going to hear things better, there's a few tools you can use to help you do that, okay? And this works for ICOM 7300, ICOM 7610s. In fact, let's move up. We're going to change frequencies. We'll go up to 17, real narrow. Let's make it a bigger screen so you can see the waterfall better. Okay, move over here, signal there, whoop, off frequency. There we go. Still off band. Now we're back on frequency. 17 might be dead today. It's possible. Let's settle down a little bit. Okay, great example. This is a very low copy. Listen. If you bring the RF gain down, look what happens. Now I've got the volume maxed up. Listen. RF gain down. RF gain up. I have to turn the volume down because I don't want to blow your ears out. See the S meter come up? S meter comes up. Turn your reference down. Again, we're working the radio. Now I can use the signal here, which is stronger, but I don't want to because I'm trying to pick up a weak one and show you how you pull it in. This is how you'll work a weak signal on a 7300. Okay, now let's go to attenuator.
Mike took care of me.
Here, come up. Now, the S meter's not here, but you hear it better. See that? The S meter's not here, but you can hear him. Attenuator adds more noise. Once we bring it in, it starts to pull it away. RF gain. Look at the waterfall. And this is where a lot of people will put a 76 or a 7300, 7610. They'll pull it just, and there's no wrong way. This is fine. See the S meter work? This is attenuation off. Up 10. Up 20. Up 30. That's a weak signal. So that'd be a 5.5, 5.6. Okay, now I have the advantage here of having the Heil parametric receive audio system, which makes a huge difference in what you hear. This makes a giant difference because by having this device here, I can actually move the mid-range around to make it sound better. I use this as an example in an email I answered today. Let me now use the same radio with the Heil to let you hear this weak signal as we're trying to bring it in and hear it better. Okay, I've done this before, but this is a little better example, hopefully, of why this is important. Okay, same signal. And here's why I use it as a DNR. Listen. Drop down the mid-range. Turn up the volume. Now he's low, but you can hear him. Now if I bring the Heil back up to all 12 o'clock, here's the signal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He had pain for the shot.
Move the Heil.
Felt really bad, especially since I was coming in with him.
See how he improved?
But they got rid of the dog shortly after that.
If I bring the mid-range down.
Yeah, you know, that could be a problem. And they can also be a liability.
See the difference? Bring the mid-range back up.
I don't know if they actually bit this guy or not, but...
Now right there is a low signal. In fact, it doesn't show well on the waterfall. But it's a great example of why the Heil makes such a difference. I get nothing for saying this. Heil doesn't pay me anything. I don't get any spiff or any kickback on this. It's really a good system. So I'll tell you about it. That's my opinion. Now, lots of ways to use 7300. I chose not to use a strong signal. I chose to use a weaker one and bring it up. The 7300 has a lot of tools built into it to help you do that, but you need to use them and carefully use them. RF gain will help you. It will bring the system up higher to a higher level, but you don't want to overdrive it so that you lose the RF gain altogether. For example, if we do it this way, take a listen. We'll pull the RF gain completely out. There's what happens. You've lost your RF gain. You've pulled it out. See, the RF gain is missing up here. Look at the S meter. It still works. The S meter's still there, but there's no signal. Now watch. RF gain comes back. So now you're running your RF gain to its maximum potential. That's the whole point. Attenuate it. Again, this is not a strong signal. Move over to a strong signal. I have a feeling we're talking digital here. We'll see. Yeah, I think we're digital there. Another signal. Drop off the attenuation. Ride your RF gain. Now, use the mid. And we have fade, of course. So an example of using the RF gain on an ICOM 7300 and how to use it. Some people say move it till it touches 1. I used to think that. I don't believe that anymore. I think you have to use the RF gain independently. It's going to be different depending upon band conditions, as always. And that's like normal radios. No SDR is going to make things brilliant for you. Just because it's a software-defined radio doesn't mean it works differently than another radio, and you don't have to use it and work it as you dial the signal in and keep it in the best you can. It's just different tools. These are software or digital tools to be able to help you do it versus analog tools, which are crystal defined to help you tune it in or adjust the passband. That's the last part of what I want to show you is the passband. How to adjust it so you can minimize noise. Same signal. So we're 2.3 instead of 3. We're adding low cut. Hear that? You can barely see it on the waterfall, but it's fully legible. And look at the S meter. Okay.
Roger, send some of that Arizona weather out this way. 7-3, catch you later. WN3T, now clear. Good afternoon.
There you go. There you go. So, by adjusting your passband, you narrow out the QRM and sometimes QRM. Okay, so QRN, QRM, should say it differently, shouldn't I? I'm sorry. The QR Nancy, which is environmental, you squeeze it out. The QRM, which is man-made, you can help to narrow it out. That's how they work. So that's why you use the bandwidth adjustment on a 7300 or any radio, okay? When you use your RF gain, you're adjusting it for maximum legibility. That's what you're trying to do. When you use your attenuator, you're trying to attenuate out signals. You're trying to bring strong noise and signals out, especially if you got a 5.9 next to an S4 or S3. You want to attenuate this out because you're hearing all that noise from the station next to you. Filter yourself away from the strong signal. Use your attenuator. It'll help. Next thing, don't use your preamp on loud bands. 160, 80, 75, 40, even 20. They're really not necessary. There's not a whole lot of help you'll get from a preamp. What it does is it introduces more noise into frequencies that are typically loud to begin with. So use them instead on 17, 15, 12, 10, 6. That's where your preamps are helpful. They'll help you there because you want to bring up the noise, the signal, because there's not as much environmental noise on those bands. Does that make sense? So if you're using a 7300 or a radio like it, doesn't matter which one, make sure you know how to use your RF gain. Listen to it as you use it. It will help you, and things change. Remember, our conditions change right now, especially because we don't have a ton of sunspots. As the sunspots improve, it'll be much easier to tune stations in and keep them in, but you'll still need to work the signal. Let's look at your comments. Such a joy to see you guys. Yeah, we did, Scott. We brought in the new year for 2 time zones. Yay, that was a lot of fun, man. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad we did that together, Scott. That was wonderful. All right. Martin, R5 is dollar better than an S9 R2. Okay, there you go. Hi, Robbie. Robbie, my guitar playing ISS SSTV guy. Wonderful to see you. Good afternoon to you from Ireland. Thanks for being here. R5S1 better than an S9 R3. Yeah, I agree. If you can hear them, but the signal is weak, but you can understand them, that's better than an S9 barely legible. That's what he's saying here, okay? What Martin from the Netherlands is trying to say is when your reception report, again, R5 is legible, but your signal is way down at S1 on your meter, right? It's not a big deal because you hear it. That's the main thing. Hearing is important. The meter's secondary, at least to me. Thanks, Martin, for that. Robbie says, so if you have an S9 noise on 80 meter, using an RF gain and an attenuator makes a huge difference on being able to hear someone. I follow this practice all the time when noise levels are high. Brilliant. That's it. It's a way to bring down that noise so you can hear the signals, whether they be local or DX. RF gain and attenuator are your best friends, along with your passband filters. Get familiar with how they work. Kenwoods and Elecrafts are very similar in how they work. ICOM has its own unique type of filtering, as does Yaesu. Get to know it, okay? The way it works for you, same with Flex. Flex is electronic. It's a little different, but it's very readable, very usable. Just learn it because those 3 tools, your RF gain, your attenuator, and your passband controls are your best friends when using your radio. If you're on the lower bands, which means 17, 15, 12, 10, 6, then introduce your preamps. Yeah. Okay. Thor, hi, buddy. Welcome. Oh, watching from work. Uh-oh. Thanks for being here. What a joy it is to see you today. Happy Tuesday, my friend. Johan from Portugal. Nice to see. Oh, I'm sorry, from Spain. From Spain. Johan, I get you confused with somebody else. I'm so sorry. Welcome from Spain. Good to see you, my friend. A very happy Tuesday to you. So that's on a 7300. Just ways you can adjust it. Now, we're going to do a show tomorrow, hopefully. Maybe not. I have to have a procedure done today that's going to make things really difficult for me, to be honest. This is a tough show for me to do. So tomorrow will be a lot more difficult, but the next day, hopefully, we'll be back. I don't know there'll be a show on Wednesday. Thursday will probably be the soonest, but if I know myself, I'm going to try and do a show tomorrow. That's just me. So anyway, let's work on something when it comes that way. But I'd like to talk with you more about how you work those long distance QSOs on Gray Line. I'd like to redo 117, but do it in a different way. I think that'd be good. Jim McCusker, all the way from Pennsylvania. Good to see you. Passbands, yes, really help to filter out adjacent unwanted signals from other stations. Good for young hams to understand. The passband is like a doorway. When you have a noisy house, right? You close the door. It lowers the level of the noise in the house. Passbands work exactly the same way. You're narrowing the incoming signal to get rid of the noise that was over here. You're bringing it down to here. So you're narrowing it. That's how passbands work. So for new hams, passbands are important to learn how they work. Read your instructions work with it on both strong signals and weak signals, and you'll get the skill of having your radio in here, inside your head, so you know how to work it. And understand we can't control fade. It's just one of those things. The next show we do, I'd like to work on using a loop for receive. I've done this before, but I want to show you a video. This is a very good video on using a loop if you have a dedicated RX port on your radio, okay? I want to show it in the next video because I've had some great questions from people about using their rigs in high noise environments. This is a great example of why a loop will help you if you have a dedicated RX port. It's very brilliantly done, but I'd like to save it for the next show because, to be honest, I know the show, it's already in my head how to produce it, but I want to be able to present it as a second show to this. So this will kind of be part one on, tuning in weak signals. The next one is going to be how to really bring them in. So will you join us? That'll be Ham Radio Live show number 19. Looking forward to bringing that to you. I just hope it'll be tomorrow. We'll see. Until then, God bless you. Please subscribe. I don't monetize here. I don't make money doing this. In fact, it costs me money to do this, about $250 a year. So do me a favor, hit the subscribe button so people can find us here on YouTube. And if they have a passion or an interest in radio, perhaps we can help them. Until next time, God bless you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll bring you the show tomorrow. Loop. We'll talk about that too, Jim. Hang in there. Show 119 will be coming up. All the best from the folks all the way from the Netherlands, Spain, Portugal, United States, UK, and everywhere in between. God bless you. Until tomorrow, thanks for watching, everybody. Good night.